in the network even, or even if the target system is not available for some time. So that will not disrupt the replication here, but it will stop for the moment and wait until the network is back. But latency on the network usually is not an issue with the migration, because we have no synchronization at that time. We capture the data and deliver it later. The moment when we go into synchronization, when we have finished our migration and now keep both systems in sync, yeah, then any latency caused by any hardware problem would of course result in latency between the status of the data between source and target. Yeah, but that's all. I mean, as soon as the network is back or something like that, then it will apply all the changes that have been captured so far. So yeah, if that's the case, we have some seconds, some minutes of latency. We can live with that. We know that, so we may employ this before switching over or before switching back to the old system in case of failback, to wait until all the transactions have been delivered, for example. So that could be incorporated.
Thank you.
Okay. I'll try to move the slide. Yeah, here we are. So the whole procedure that was just showed step by step in migrating can be used, for example, for upgrading your database version. For example, from Oracle 8, 9, and 10 to 11, or in the future then to 12 and others. But it can also be used, for example, at the same time for migrating your hardware, your operating system, or even for migrating from a non-Oracle database to an Oracle database, for example. It could also be used for application upgrades, but that is much more complex, because an application upgrade may require a change in structure of the database, so a change in the tables. And that means we would have to apply the same transformation rules, the same upgrade rules, when applying the change data that we have captured from the old version of the application. It can be done, but it requires some preparation. It requires the configuration of all these upgrade rules, and somebody must know how they work. Usually we can obtain the upgrade rules from the standard upgrade procedure of the application, but it is work to apply them to the delivery of the change data, which can make sense. If you cannot afford any downtime, then it is worth to spend this effort. I just wanted to let you know that there is additional work to be done, which is not automatically delivered by any product and not by GoldenGate. But yes, it can be used, and for example, we are using this for upgrades from a previous Siebel version to a newer Siebel version, like going from Siebel 6 or 7 to 8 right now. So this is used, but is more work. Then at the beginning I talked about a third state of unavailability, which is when the system is physically there, but it responds too slowly. So this is where GoldenGate can be used to offload some of the load from the existing system, from your processing system, from your legacy system, whatever you may have here, even the mainframe, and offload those queries to a separate box running on a different system, like using Linux, Unix, Windows, and a standard database on there, like Oracle, and then run all your queries against this system without paying, for example, for your mainframe or for your main system there. And you're absolutely free then to run your queries as often as you like, because you don't disturb anymore the main processing system. And the quality is always the same because we keep the data in sync. So that is a very useful use case for GoldenGate as well. And if you use everything in combination, you could, for example, set up data centers at 2 different locations, or maybe more of them, like 3 or 4 locations, and synchronize each other with each other. So then you don't necessarily need anymore a disaster recovery system at each location, but instead you synchronize the locations with each other, and in case of failure, all users and applications can be switched to the other location where the system is still running. And you also gain, so you not only gain high availability, but you also gain better insight into your data, because every location has the same status of the data. Everybody sees what we call one version of the truth, so everybody has the same data at the same time. Working in environments like that, where you have active working on several locations, so you don't have a master and a slave and a standby, you have active working sites which are synchronized with each other. It could happen due to a design error, or because of somebody changed something in the database, deleted entries which were not included in the configuration of GoldenGate, something like that. So you just want to be sure that your data is really the same on all locations. And we offer a second tool for that, which is called Veridata. And Veridata can compare data from 2 or more databases, which can even be heterogeneous. And it does it with very low impact on your systems. It does it online, in the background, and it knows that replication exists. So it knows that there can be latency between 2 different databases. So everything, every record it found which is not the same in source and target, it will just keep in mind in a list, and then check only these entries again after, let's say, 5 minutes, and see if the values are now the same. Then it knows, okay, replication was in place and everything is fine now, we are in sync now. Only if the records keep being not the same, then it will report the differences in the report file, and will send an alarm then to somebody that we have discrepancies in our databases here. So that was basically what GoldenGate is doing and how it's working. And you may ask yourself, okay, what is then the difference to some of our other products? For example, a lot of these use cases sounded pretty similar to what Oracle Streams offered before. Well, the difference is pretty obvious. Streams only works from Oracle to Oracle, and works really good only from version 10. While GoldenGate supports synchronization between different databases, and also from Oracle 8 onwards. So that is more powerful here. And I can tell you that GoldenGate is also much more performant than Streams is. So if you have really massive amounts of volumes of change data every hour, then you may have only the chance to use GoldenGate, because Streams cannot keep up with this workload. And all these advantages caused Oracle to say, after the acquisition of GoldenGate, GoldenGate is now the strategic replication solution. Streams continues to be a supported database feature. It will keep supported. You will get even updates on that. That's all fine, but I would say we shouldn't expect major advancements, major new developments on Streams anymore. I think they will go more into GoldenGate, and the 2 products will converge over the time.